One of the most trusted names in prepping just announced they're closing their doors forever, and the reason why should make every prepper rethink their priorities. In this video, you'll discover why Canadian Preparedness is liquidating their entire operation, what this reveals about the future of the preparedness industry, and the surprising personal revelation that led to this massive decision. Plus, we'll uncover the one piece of survival gear that money can't buy, but you absolutely need to survive what's coming. Welcome to Prep Pantry, where we cut through the noise and give you the real information you need to protect what matters most. If you're serious about preparedness, hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss critical updates like this one. The preparedness world was recently shaken by an announcement that nobody saw coming. CanadianPreparedness.com, the online store connected to the massively popular Canadian Prepper YouTube channel, is shutting down its distribution operations permanently. And right now, they're offering a final 25% off store-wide clearance sale using the code 25closing. Now, before you think this is just another business closing its doors, understand that this represents something much bigger. This isn't a failing business scrambling to offload inventory. This is a successful operation making a calculated decision to exit the distribution game entirely. And the reasons why should concern every single person watching this video. For years, Canadian Preparedness has been a go-to source for premium survival gear. They've built their reputation on quality, integrity, and a genuine commitment to helping people prepare for uncertain times. The founder personally vetted every single product in that warehouse. These weren't random items thrown together to make a quick buck. These were tools, food supplies, medical equipment, and gear that he would trust to protect his own family. That's a level of curation you rarely see in this industry. And now all of it is being liquidated. The shelves are emptying fast, and this kind of comprehensive sale at these prices is unlikely to ever happen again. If you've been on the fence about acquiring quality survival gear, this is your moment. But here's what matters more than the sale itself. It's why this is happening in the first place. The founder was brutally honest about the challenges that made continuing in-house distribution impossible. And these aren't problems unique to one small business. These are industry-wide shifts that are reshaping how preparedness gear reaches consumers. First, there's the increasing interference from big tech and bureaucracy. If you've been paying attention, you've noticed that alternative voices, preparedness channels, and anyone who doesn't follow the mainstream narrative has faced mounting pressure. Algorithms change, accounts get flagged, regulations multiply. Running a business that serves the preparedness community means navigating a minefield of restrictions that didn't exist just a few years ago. Then there are the economic realities. Tariffs have made importing goods more expensive. Automation has completely changed the logistics game. Large third-party fulfillment centers can process orders faster, cheaper, and more efficiently than small independent warehouses. They have the infrastructure, the technology, and the economies of scale that make competing nearly impossible. And let's talk about the logistical nightmare that most people never see. Managing inventory means you're constantly ordering, receiving, organizing, and tracking thousands of products. Shipping means dealing with carriers, delays, damaged packages, and customer service issues. Insurance costs keep climbing. One mistake, one delayed shipment, one inventory error can cascade into hours of problem solving. The founder made it clear, third-party distribution centers are simply better equipped for this. They're more efficient, they're more reliable, and trying to compete with that infrastructure while also creating content, engaging with the community, and staying informed about global events, it just doesn't make sense anymore. This is the reality facing small, independent preparedness stores across the board. The industry is consolidating. The big players with massive warehouses and automated systems are winning. And while that might mean lower prices and faster shipping for consumers in some cases, it also means less diversity in the market, fewer voices, and less personal connection between the people selling gear and the people buying it. But here's what isn't changing. The mission remains the same. The Canadian Prepper channel didn't build its audience by pushing products. It built its audience by providing valuable information, honest reviews, and genuine guidance for people trying to navigate increasingly uncertain times. That commitment to integrity is staying intact.
The only thing changing is the elimination of the logistical burden that came with running a warehouse. Think about what this actually means. Instead of spending time managing inventory, dealing with suppliers, and handling shipping logistics, the focus can shift entirely to creating content, deepening community engagement, and providing the insights that people actually come to the channel for. The products that get recommended moving forward will still be carefully vetted. They'll still be items the founder would trust for his own family. The difference is that someone else will handle the fulfillment. This is about working smarter, not harder. And honestly, it's a decision that more people in this space should probably consider. gear? How many preparedness educators burn out trying to do everything themselves? How many talented content creators never reach their full potential because they're drowning in the administrative side of running a business? There's a lesson here about recognizing your strengths and focusing your energy where it matters most. And that brings us to something the founder shared that goes way deeper than business strategy. He talked about intuition, about timing, about how things just seem to line up when you're on the right path. Before YouTube, he had a professional career. He had a university degree. By all conventional measures, he was doing well. But there was this persistent feeling, this intuition that told him he would one day speak to a large audience. He didn't know how, he didn't know when, but he knew it was coming. So he started the channel. No expectations of monetization, no grand plan for success, just a passion for preparedness, a desire to help others, and the willingness to share his knowledge. He tested gear. He explored the outdoors. He talked about the things that interested him. And then, almost like magic, everything fell into place. The channel took off at exactly the right time. The homestead came together. The store grew beyond anything he'd imagined. It was serendipity. It was timing. It was that mysterious force that people who trust their gut understand, but can't always explain. Now, years later, he's feeling that same pull again. The sense that it's time to move on from this chapter. That closing the distribution side isn't an ending, it's a clearing of space for whatever comes next. That's wisdom. That's trusting yourself, even when it doesn't make perfect logical sense on paper. A lot of people dismiss intuition. They want spreadsheets and data and 5-year plans, and those things have their place. But there's something to be said for listening to that inner voice that tells you when it's time to pivot, when it's time to let go, when it's time to focus your energy somewhere else. The founder doesn't claim to be the smartest person in the room, but he values wisdom. And wisdom isn't about IQ or credentials. It's about recognizing patterns. It's about learning from experience. It's about knowing when to hold on and when to let go. That kind of self-awareness is rare, and it's especially rare to see someone walk away from a successful business because they sense it's the right move, not because they're forced to. That takes courage, that takes trust, and it speaks to a deeper understanding of what actually matters in life. Which brings us to the real reason behind this decision, the reason that every prepper needs to hear. The founder said something that cuts through all the noise about gear and supplies and tactical equipment. He said the primary reason for stepping back is family, that as his children grow older, and as he watches the distortions and confusion of modern society play out, he's realized that family bonds are more important than anything else. Here's the exact sentiment. Family is all you got, and it's all you're gonna have when the S hits the fan. And it's your number one piece of survival gear. Let that sink in for a moment. We spend so much time in this community talking about the best freeze-dried food, the most reliable water filters, the most versatile multi-tools. And don't get me wrong, those things matter. Having quality gear can absolutely save your life. But all the gear in the world won't help you if you're facing disaster alone, if your family is fractured, if you've sacrificed relationships in pursuit of the perfect stockpile. This is the truth that doesn't get talked about enough. Survival isn't a solo activity. It's not about being the lone wolf with the biggest bunker. It's about having people you trust, people you love, people who will stand with you when everything falls apart. And that trust, that unity, that bond, it doesn't just appear when you need it. You have to build it now. You have to nurture it. You have to prioritize it even when it's inconvenient, even when it's difficult, even when there are 1,000 other things demanding your attention.
The founder is making the conscious choice to prioritize his family over business growth, to be present for his children during critical years, to strengthen those bonds while there's still time, because he understands that when the real crisis comes, those relationships will matter more than anything else. Think about your own situation. How strong are your family connections right now? How much time are you spending building trust and communication with the people closest to you? Or are you so focused on prepping supplies that you've let relationships deteriorate? There's a hard truth here. You can have a warehouse full of gear and still be completely unprepared if your family is divided, if there's no communication, if everyone's going their own direction with no sense of unity or shared purpose. Modern society makes this harder than ever. We're all distracted, we're all overstimulated. Kids are being pulled in 100 different directions. Adults are overwhelmed, trying to keep up, and genuine, deep family connection gets pushed to the back burner because there's always something more urgent demanding attention. But that's exactly why this message matters so much. Because if you wait until disaster strikes to try and build those bonds, it's too late. The foundation has to be there beforehand. The trust has to already exist. The communication patterns have to be established. This is Survival 101 that nobody wants to talk about. We'd rather discuss calibers and camo patterns. But the uncomfortable truth is that family dysfunction will kill you faster than lack of supplies. A united family with limited resources will outlast a divided family with unlimited resources every single time. The founder's decision to step back from the business side to focus on family isn't weakness, it isn't giving up. It's the smartest strategic move a prepper can make because he's investing in the one asset that truly can't be replaced. And before we move on, let's talk about the community that's grown around Canadian preparedness, because this is another aspect that gets overlooked in most business transactions. The founder shared that he's received countless emails and messages from supporters over the years. And while he can't always respond personally because of the sheer volume, every single message gets read. Longtime customers with dozens of orders aren't just account numbers, they're recognized as individuals, as people who've placed trust in the products and recommendations being offered. That kind of connection is almost extinct in modern e-commerce. Most companies see customers as data points, as conversion rates and lifetime values. But Canadian preparedness built something different. They built genuine relationships with people who share common concerns about the future. The founder takes pride in knowing that the gear sold through that store will make a real difference when disaster strikes. These aren't impulse purchases that end up in a closet. These are tools that people are counting on. Food that might feed families during supply chain collapse. Medical supplies that could save lives when hospitals are overwhelmed. That's a heavy responsibility, and it's clear that responsibility was taken seriously. Every product was chosen with the understanding that someone's safety might depend on it. That's integrity. That's the difference between someone who cares about the mission and someone who's just trying to make money off people's fears. And that integrity continues even as the business model changes. The recommendations will still come from the same place of genuine concern and careful evaluation. The difference is just in who handles the warehousing and shipping. The trust remains intact. For those of you who purchase gear from Canadian Preparedness over the years, you made a good investment. When you need those items, they'll be ready. They were built for hard times, and they represent more than just equipment. They represent peace of mind, security, and the ability to face adversity with confidence. So, what does all of this mean for you? What are the takeaways here? First, understand that adaptability is essential. The world is changing fast. Business models that worked 5 years ago might not work today. Strategies that make sense now might be obsolete tomorrow. The ability to recognize when something isn't sustainable anymore and to pivot before you're forced to is a crucial survival skill, and it applies to way more than just business. Second, trust your instincts. We live in a world that wants everything quantified and analyzed, but sometimes the most important guidance comes from that gut feeling that something is right or wrong, that inner voice that tells you it's time to make a change. Learning to listen to that intuition and having the courage to act on it can make all the difference. And third, and most importantly, prioritize relationships, especially family. No amount of gear can substitute for strong bonds with people you trust. Start building and strengthening those connections now, not later. Have the difficult conversations, spend the quality time, work through the conflicts, create the foundation of unity that will hold when everything else falls apart. Stay true to your core values, even as circumstances change. Integrity matters. Authenticity matters. Whether you're running a business, building a homestead, or just trying to prepare your family for uncertain times, maintaining your principles ensures that your impact lasts beyond any single project or venture. The closing of Canadian Preparedness's distribution operation isn't an ending, it's a transition. It's a clearing of space for the next chapter, and it's a powerful reminder of what actually matters when we strip away all the noise and distractions. The Canadian Prepper channel will continue providing content, guidance, and updates on global developments. The Prepper News channel will keep delivering timely information about world events. There's a backlog of unreleased videos still coming. The mission hasn't changed, only the operational structure supporting it. And for those of you who want to take advantage of this final liquidation sale, now is the time. Use code 25closing for 25% off everything. Get the gear you've been considering. Stock up on supplies at prices you won't see again. Support a brand that spent years serving this community with integrity. But more than that, take the deeper message to heart. Evaluate your own priorities. Ask yourself if you're building the kind of family bonds that will sustain you through crisis. Consider whether you're trusting your own intuition or just following what everyone else says you should do. Think about what wisdom means in your own life and how you can cultivate it. The preparedness community needs more people who understand that survival is about more than just gear. It's about mindset, it's about relationships, it's about wisdom and timing, and the courage to make difficult decisions when necessary. Canadian preparedness has demonstrated all of those qualities throughout this journey, from the intuition that led to starting the channel, to the integrity in product selection, to the wisdom in recognizing when to change direction, to the courage in prioritizing family over business growth. These are lessons that apply far beyond one person's story. As the world continues to change, as society faces mounting challenges, as the future grows more uncertain, the values of integrity, family, and genuine preparedness will serve as guiding lights. They'll separate those who truly survive from those who merely exist. The story of Canadian preparedness is proof that you can build something meaningful while staying true to your principles, that you can serve a community authentically while also taking care of your own. That success doesn't always mean growth and expansion. Sometimes it means knowing when to simplify and refocus. If you found value in this video, hit that like button and subscribe to Prep Pantry. We're committed to bringing you real information that cuts through the marketing hype and gets to what actually matters. Share this with other preppers who need to hear this message. And most importantly, take action on what you've learned here today. Check out the liquidation sale if you need gear. But more than that, go strengthen your family bonds. Trust your gut about the decisions you need to make. And remember that the best survival gear money can't buy is the love, trust, and unity of the people closest to you. Stay prepared, stay connected, and we'll see you in the next one.